difference for the new people. Okay, today is Wednesday, the 13th, January 1204. We're going to be going over compounding. All right, this is how you compound. All right, so compounding is key, using proper risk management. Why? Because it's the small things that you do that lead up to the greater results. It's called the snowball effect, right? What you do little by little by little, it starts gaining attraction gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Right? Why do I say these things? Because one thing that we do not promote here is gambling. We don't promote gambling, right? Because what happens with trading is that when you don't follow proper risk management, using your 2% and you're not compounding, then you're pretty much gambling. Why? Because now you're trading out of emotions. And that's something that we don't promote here, is trading out of your emotions. We like to teach people on how to take calculated trades using proper risk, where you only risk 2% of the overall account to accomplish 8%, close the laptop, go about your day. And do that 5 days a week consecutively for around 90 days. You can literally turn a $250 account, a $500 account, into almost $500,000. Right, and I have the compounding calculator to prove that to you guys right after this. So what do we mean by compounding? All right, compounding, right? Now, let's say in your trading account, you have an account of $500. That's on your broker's account, right? That's just sitting there. Now, you already loaded it up to the account, right? Now, no matter how much you have in your account, whether it's 200, 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, a million, you're only going to risk 2 to 3%. Now, I only say 2% because that's being conservative. And then just in case you have to roll over, you already met your 3%. Okay, so that's why that's important, right? So, right now, with a $500 account, 2% of that, your first trade is going to be $10. Okay, it's going to be $10. This is your first trade. Okay, it's going to be $10. Now, let's say if the currency pair you're trading, just for an example, Euro USD, is paying out 80%, that's going to be the return of your investment, no matter how much you put on that initial trade. Okay, this is called return of investment, abbreviated as ROI. That's what the currency pair is paying out for that trade, right? So why is this important? Because, let me just quit this real quick. Why is this important? Because this is going to work to get you to your 8%. So 2%, okay, 2% of whatever it is that you're trading. Okay, we're going over compounding risk management. Okay, compounding and proper risk management. Now, let's say $10 at an 80% return, you win that first trade, you just now made $18. Okay, now what some people would do is they would say, okay, I made $18. Let me pocket my profit, the $8, and let me go back with another 10. Now, let me explain something to you. Doing it that way, you're actually going to lose more than you're going to gain. And the way we like to show people is how they're going to gain more and secure back their initial investment of that 2%. Right? So how do we do it? You put $10 in, the currency pair was paying 80%, you now made $18 on a trade, and it probably only took you 1 to 3 minutes to do that. Now, what do? We go on our second trade now. And on our second trade, we start that trade with $18 instead of another 10. So we're risking now the entire initial investment and the profit. That's compounding. So we take the investment and the profit, we swing it over to the second trade, $18. I'll tell you right now, I'm not too good at math. That's why I have a calculator. $18 times 0.8 is 14 0.4. So 14.4 plus 18 equals $32. So that $18 now turned into $32 on your second trade. Now what do? We're going for the third trade now. This is compounding, ladies and gentlemen. $32, right? Times 0.8 gets you 25. So it's 32 plus 25 equals 57. So look what happened here, ladies and gentlemen. You just learned how to take $10 and compound it, earning you $57 in just 3 trades. Now, why is that important? Because when you win 3 trades in a row, you just cleared your first tower. This is called a tower. This is how you secure your investments, right? Don't mind the writing. I'm using a keypad, a touchpad here, and it sucks, but it works somehow, some way, right? So the first tower, you just cleared your first tower. Now, why is that? Because now, when you build your second tower, your first trade, you're starting that tower back with the $10 that you got back from the whole entire trade. You see? So you won 10 here. You put in 10, compounding that 3 times with an 80% of return of investment, you turn that already into $57. Why is that important? Because now you're starting your tower back with the initial investment, which means that even if you were to lose this trade, you still made $47 in profit. You see? That's securing. You already won back your initial investment in those 3 trades. Now what happens? You do the same thing, boom, your second tower is clear. I'll put 2T for tower, right? Now the rule of thumb is this in trading, and I'm going to express this to you guys, and I'm going to say it over and over again. If you lose 3 trades in a row, you call it a day. That's proper risk management. That's setting the emotion to the side. We don't want a revenge trade here. People revenge trade. They lose 2 trades, and now they're doubling up to gain what they lost. And then guess what? A blown account. And that's not what we're trying to do here. We're here with the intent to teach, so you guys can learn, because learning what you're seeing is going to give you the results. Let's not reinvent the wheel here. Let's not recreate what already works. Sometimes it's good to unlearn to relearn. Set the ego to the side. Don't let the emotions get involved, and just apply what you are learning, because it's not only working for me, it's working for the masses. It's working for the 5% of the people that trade in this entire world. Okay? So that's why that's important. Now let's just say, you didn't want to start with that 10 and you wanted to continue going, right? One second. Let's say you want to continue going. So now you can start that second tower with $57. $57. One second. Times 0.8 equals 45. So 57 plus 45 equals 102. Now you're $102 in profit. Your second trade, you take that 102 times 8%. That's $81. 102 plus 81 equals 183. It just turned into 183. Then your third trade, 183. Okay, 183 times 0.8 is 146. 183 plus 146 equals 329. You literally, ladies and gentlemen, you literally learn how to compound $10, and in just 6 trades, 2 tower trades, you made $329. Okay, so I want you guys to understand the power of compounding. But here is something I didn't say in the beginning. What we have to do is risk 2% of the account to gain only 8% of the account. Okay, 8%, I believe 8% of 500 is 40, but don't quote me on it. It's 40, correct. 8%, you literally can stop on your third trade. Okay? So the whole purpose here is to win only 8% and call it a day. Now I made $329 here in 6 trades. $29 times 500 times, let's say 0.15 times 0.15, that's 75. We're well over. We're probably like 60% in profits. 60% of the overall account, which we don't want to do because that is risky, right? So what we do the small things first, right? We do the small things. We're only going to risk 2% of the account to gain 8% of the account. Why is that? Because you got to understand, every time you are trading every day, when you gain an overall of 8% of the entire account and you stop, your 2% get bigger every day. Your 8% get bigger at the end. Started the next day. Now your 2% are bigger. Now what you accomplish in your 8% get bigger. So it's the small things that you do. All right. So understand, you're not going to get rich overnight unless if you apply this method. Because trying to get rich is like a race to disaster. Why? Because the emotion is involved. You're over leveraging your account. You're not just trading 2%. You're trading 50%, 60% on your first trade. You're going to blow your account, right? So we like to teach people on how to have the right mindset when it comes to trading, right? The proper mindset. Now, let me show you why this is important. Okay? Why is this important? I'm going to show you guys right now. Okay? This is important simply because the small things we talked about, right? So you remember what we said, having a $500 account, right? You had a $500 account. Your daily interest rate is 8% because that's what we're accomplishing, 8% of the overall account every day. Let's say if you had a 90-day goal. For 90 days, we don't include weekends because we don't trade on weekends. The market is closed and it's super volatile. You can trade, but you will lose all your money because the market is super volatile. So we don't recommend people trading over the weekends. Now, your daily reinvestment rate is always going to be 100% because that's what compounding is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's what compounding is. It's always going to be 100%. You do this for 90 days with an 8% interest rate, with an 8% interest, okay? 8% of the overall account in the length of 90 days, not including weekends. $500 can grow you $500,000. And yes, this is real, ladies and gentlemen. This is the beauty of compounding. You see? From January to May. Why January to May? Because we don't include weekends. This is 90 days. Literally, in 90 business days, your net profit in 90-day period was $508,963. So family, I want you guys to understand the importance of compounding. Utilizing the cash trap strategy with the point system that was put into place and along with the educators that we have. If you simply apply this method along with following the step-by-step process with the educators, you're geared to get the results. But it's not going to happen if you try to reinvent the wheel. It's not going to happen if you try to go against the market without using your proper analysis, because the market will disrespect you. They will disrespect you in a heartbeat. if you think you know it all. All right. So that's why it's important that you learn this stuff. You start applying what you're learning, and you make the right moves. We don't gamble here, ladies and gentlemen. We learn how to trade like a professional. And that's the beauty of compounding with proper risk management. All right, let me stop this recording.